Don't get me wrong.
I don't think President Biden should do preemptive pardons either. Makes people look guilty, if you ask me. Biden should be pardoning all the nonviolent drug offenders in federal prison. He should be pardoning everybody in federal prison for nonviolent weed convictions, okay? He should be pardoning Marilyn Mosby. Those are the pardons he should be working on before he get his old ass up out of here.
And you don't think the preemptive, like, there's people that Trump are going to be attacking, right? You know there's people that went at Trump, that tried to get him locked up. You know he's going to go with them.
Yeah, but why would I be pardoning you if you don't have any crimes connected to you? Don't that make you look guilty? If I give you a preemptive pardon?
No, it means that we know who Trump is and we know what Trump's probably going to do.
That means, it could mean Trump knows something that we don't know. And that's why he's going after these people. I just don't understand why you would give somebody a preemptive pardon. Like, it just feels like you saying, okay, I know this person is guilty of something, and Trump may go after them.
Because he said for the last couple of years, he's going to be going at them.
Hypocrisy, my friend.
But that is what you did with him. I mean, what do you expect?
And Trump a preemptive pardon. Like, it just feels like you saying, okay, I know this person is guilty of something, and Trump may go after them.
Because he said for the last couple of years, he's going to be going at them.
Yeah, but I can't just go at you for no reason.
Donald Trump?
I mean, it just seems strange to do preemptive pardons. If you ask
All
me.
right.
But what do I know? I stay out of white people. I try to stay out of white people's business.
I'm glad he's waking up.
We have 500,000 children who had sponsors in this country that we can't find. We can't find them. We don't know if they're doing child labor. We don't know if they're doing sex crimes. We don't know if they're being exploited. 500,000 children. There's a level of hypocrisy that everyone that states they want to protect everyone but innocent individuals who are victims of crimes and children.
And many leftists tells me, well, they're hiding because if ICE get them, they're going to deport them. They're in a sanctuary city. Well, if the laws here, it's better here than laws in their own country. It's like the excuses are wild.
I want to support and protect children and innocent people that are victims of crime. And those who don't understand that, it's not up to me to try to convince them. I know what my job is, my goal is, and I was clear of that while running and when I became mayor. Safety means everything to me. 500,000 children, we don't know where they are right now in this country.
I'm just saying, don't tell me you care about the children when your actions don't represent that you care about the children.
These three lawsuits filed by men, and I'm not saying that I favor men over women. I'm saying it's just very rare for men to come forward and discuss potential sexual assault.
Well, it's 2024. This is going to be the new normal.
All right? To say that they were drugged and raped by Combs. The lawyer representing them says he turned down dozens of other claims. Why? He didn't know that they were winners. So why these cases? All right, lawsuit number one. Man claims he went to a party at Diddy's home in the Hamptons 2020. Says he was given a drink, began to fade in and out, one drink. And Diddy and his associates sodomized him and took turns raping him. Lawsuit number two. Man says he met Diddy 2019 at a nightclub, invited back to his hotel. Diddy gave him a drink. Guy says it made him sick. Diddy told him to lie down and said to others, he's ready to party. When he woke up, the man said he was lying naked on his stomach. Diddy was sodomizing him, and a man and woman were recording it. Next morning, one of Diddy's associates gave him $2,500 cash on behalf of Diddy. Lawsuit number three. Man who worked for Diddy says in 2020 he went to his hotel room for a meeting. Diddy made him a drink, made him very tired. Diddy told him to take a nap. When he woke up, Diddy was sodomizing him. When he tried to resist, Diddy told him he was almost done. Afterwards, Diddy told him he was going to the police. His going to the police would make him look like an idiot because he'd never be able to substantiate his claims. He also says Diddy's entourage called and threatened him to stay quiet. Diddy's attorneys responded to the three lawsuits. These complaints are full of lies. We're going to prove them false and seek sanctions against every unethical lawyer who filed fictional claims against him. The attorney for these three that I just detailed is Thomas Gifford.
I'm not saying it's true, but it's rather interesting if you have 1,000 baby oils at your house where usually people kind of party.
I remember Congressman Massey sort of asked this question a few months ago when we had the Inspector General in front of our committee, and he all but admitted that there were confidential human sources there. And remember this, confidential human source is a fancy name for a spy. So there were 26 spies there on January 6th. 17 of them were in restricted space. 4 of them went into the Capitol. 3 were deployed by the FBI, tasked to be there by the FBI. And then 2 of them were actually paid by the FBI but 0 were prosecuted for doing the same thing, going in restricted space, going in the Capitol, that American citizens got prosecuted for. So that's the part that's so troubling, is this double standard, this unequal application of the law.
I mean, it's kind of wild, right? You can't have a bunch of cops doing the same things supposedly that I'm doing, but the cops kind of supposedly motivate me to do the thing that they're going to do together with me.
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
But I'm sent to prison without a trial. And they are free to go. That's wild.
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket. But it's the only cell that's locked. Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door. We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? I thought I saw it move. Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
I think it's someone.
Hello?
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian. He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. My. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, supposedly CNN Clarissa Ward and her team found a Syrian prisoner and they saved him. Let me know if you believe if this was fake or not. Because the comment section, they were telling, yeah, that's why we don't watch CNN officially, because it's all fake. Trump won the Person of the Year in Time magazine. Very interesting. He went from this to this.
But I do want to thank Time Magazine. I've been on the cover many times. I don't know who has the record, but I can only probably talk well about 25% of the covers.
What difference at this point does it make?
Person of the Year by Time Magazine. I bet a bunch of people ain't happy with that.
If they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, they would have made someone who, and my God, I'm sure he loves this, right? If they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, I don't know, they could have done it with any person. People, they could have done it to someone who actually stood for democracy, who stands for democracy in the country. Now you think about what encompasses Person of the Year. Just because you are elected President of the United States does not mean that you should be Person of the Year. What Time Magazine, what are you doing?
It's my money.
Okay. Let me ask you, Time Magazine, what do you say to the women who, I guess, still read Time Magazine? Or the women who don't they do like a whole Time 100 thing or something, which, what about the women who are on that list? What about that? I'm sure some of them will had dealt with issues that women have to deal with, like discrimination in the workplace, SA, all kinds of things. You have someone on the cover of your magazine who is an adjudicated assaulter. You have someone who inspired an insurrection. You have someone who, without a doubt, the evidence is there, tried to overturn a free and fair election. You had someone who had multiple criminal counts and found guilty on multiple criminal counts, and you name them Person of the Year? Is this a joke? Did we get something wrong? Did someone scam us? Are we sure about this, producers?
Maybe that is the reason why the woman didn't vote for the person that you thought. Let me give you an example. You said that many people get raped for a specific reason and that's why they need an abortion. And then the ladies do a little research and find out the percentage actually is very low. And you're using a very small percentage to change the whole dynamic for certain ladies that are quite responsible. But this responsible lady, when they have a question, you attack them.
And everyone immediately, Anna's just a secret right-winger. Anna's just a secret right-winger.
And now he is picking the people that the people also want. And you're like, hey, we don't like his picks.
People in this country don't want those picks that would be typical. They don't want the people who have been part of bureaucracy.
know that?
A lot of people don't want. I mean, I've been
lot of
across the
people
country.
in
I've
this
talked to a lot of people.
Talk to every single person in the country.
Kamala Harris
It doesn't matter.
Kamala Harris couldn't.
Yes,
flip
they
one
elected
county
Trump to
in
get
the entire
non-traditional. So a lot of
country.
people in
That
the
hasn't
country
been
want
done
Pete
since
Hegseth.
1932. She couldn't flip one county in the entire country. People want change. They want picks that are going to be different than the status quo.
Well, fine. Get all the TV hosts you want. It's fine with me.
What's wrong with TV hosts?
Nothing. They're great.
Well, I can start doling out cabinet titles for you guys now.
All I have to say is this. You can be salty at me if I want to vote for a person or a person that has the values that represent the way I think. Because that's why we have a democracy.
First of all, it's the greatest comeback story in American political history. I mean, when you think about all the things you just listed that he survived, from the political stuff to the lawfare to the assassination attempts to the Democrats changing out their campaign, when you think about all the unprecedented stuff that he had to survive in order to come back from losing in 2020 to winning not just the Electoral College but the popular vote in 2024, there's never been anything like it. One of the superpowers of Donald Trump is that he's the breaker of narratives. And there were always narratives around him that he could never win the election, that the case in New York was going to bring him down, that, you know, this or that was going to be the thing that finally brought down Donald Trump, or that Kamala Harris was the greatest presidential candidate we've ever seen, and so on and so forth. Trump is the breaker of narratives, and I think he exposed really the political information distribution complex in this election for what it is, which is often a distributor of narratives and not facts. And a lot of people came out and supported Donald Trump because they felt like they were being lied to by the current administration. They had a real mistrust of the policies that had been instituted. They were upset about the economy. The border was, and I think he's right, the border was really on people's minds for all of the societal impacts of that. And he broke all of the narratives around it that was coming out of the media and coming out of the Democrats and won this huge victory. I think it's earth-shattering what he did, not just for politics, but the way we as Americans receive and process our political information. He kind of bypassed, in some ways, the mainstream media and went right to these alternative media sources, and it turns out his entire strategy around that was correct.
Really?
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 And the fact that he is the breaker of narratives, I think Biden is the one that proves to us that every pattern recognition expert is right. In the final weeks of Biden administration, truckloads of unused border wall material are being hauled away from the Arizona border. It's been taken north to a government auction site where bidding for an entire segment of wall starts at just $5. A Border Patrol agent estimates that up to half a mile worth of wall is being transported every day. It's a lot of border wall.
I don't think anybody's going to be crying too hard over that guy.
Yeah, maybe his family, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a dirty, dirty business. The business of insurance is gross. It's gross. And especially healthcare insurance, just gross.
I have to say, I mean, this is so weird. Yeah. But a man was murdered in the streets of New York. And I mean, there's a conversation that's happening now about that stuff, but it's so interesting to see how quickly it's turned to health insurance executives are bad, actually, and that's the moral of the story?
Yeah, I mean, two things can be true at once. The healthcare industry can have major problems. It can be, as Joe Rogan was saying, a dirty, dirty business. But also a human life was taken, a father, a husband, also on the streets of New York. You know, I live in New York City. I could have been easily walking by right when that happened. Somebody else could have been killed. And so these two things can be true at the same time. And I think it is very disrespectful, not only to a human life, to somebody who was killed, to the people of New York City, but also to the debate that we could be having about the healthcare industry when you put it in these terms, when you celebrate something like this. Because, A, I'd like to see Joe Rogan say that to the face of the CEO's wife and his kids and see if he'd have those same tones when he's actually confronted face-to-face with that human life.
Somebody was the boss pushing that narrative, and somebody thought he was responsible. He didn't say it was that guy. He saw the insurance way of thinking as well. The fact that you try to blame it as if we don't care about a life, and he didn't say that, that's why you're losing the popular vote. People are starting to see you're shifting. Like telling me, hey, you have two, I can see I have one eye. What are you talking about?
I'm not alone, you said. Healthcare executive
down with party balloons was on an X post that you commented on. Why would you be in such a celebratory mood about the execution of another human being? Aren't you supposed to be on the caring, sharing left where, you believe in the sanctity of life?
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy. Unfortunately, because it feels like...
Seriously?
I mean...
Joy in a man's execution?
Maybe not joy, but certainly not no.
Too late. You use the same strategy with me. I have to overthink everything I say.
Joy in a man's execution?
Maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again,
we're watching the footage. How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's been gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that he murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
But why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think because it wouldn't fix the system.
You seem to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving health care from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand why somebody would feel this reaction.
And I don't understand how you want to fix the system when the CEO got deleted off that system. And you're like, first reaction, joy. Wait. I didn't mean that. I meant empathy. For who?
You said you were feeling joyful.
Yeah, I take that back. Joyful is the wrong word, Piers.
You think?
But I said, as I clarified,
you think?
Yeah.
You think joyful is the wrong word? Yeah.
Sure,
I'd say it is.
Vindicated, celebratory, because again, it feels like justice in this system when somebody responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans suffers the same fate as those tens of thousands of Americans who he murdered.
I don't mean joy. I think it's fair that the people that suffer makes the CEO that makes them suffer. Okay, as if that message is not gonna be wild if everybody normalizes that. Certain people are so dangerous when they speak. Just saying,
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Turloqueta verdeta welcome.